we messed up. Well, more specifically, I messed up. I don't know if you guys can see in the background. We have a new truck, and there's a pretty big story to that as to why we have a new truck, but the Titan is gone. You know, it was a good truck while we had it, but you know, things happened over the last week, 10 days that has caused us to get a different vehicle. So
it's been a crazy 10 days.
It's been a crazy month,
weeks.
but definitely the last week to 10 days have been just insane. Now I don't think that, you know, there's a big story with that, but I don't think that it's probably going to work for Sonny and I to both have that conversation, because as you can see, it's kind of a touchy subject. So I'm probably just going to let her tell it without me. So yeah, I'll let her do that now.
It's been quite the saga, as Brandon mentioned, for the last 10 weeks or 10 days to 2 weeks, but it's really been more like the last month. When we got the Titan, the main motivation for getting that truck was that we came home with our beautiful new travel trailer and discovered that the Dodge Ram truck that we had before was too light to pull it, that you could technically tow it, but the trailer itself was much heavier and it was a dangerous situation. We quickly replaced that truck with the Titan, which was a heavier truck, and it was a diesel, and it was just better for towing the trailer that we had. We came into a situation where we needed a new truck. We've already told you that the Titan is gone. Because of that, we had to find a truck right away. Well, we're on the road, we're living in our camper full time, and the closest truck Brandon could find that was heavy enough to meet our needs was about 6 to 8 hours away. This is not super convenient. It is a downside if you are living in your trailer and on the road. It's not like we were in storage and could easily, you know, sit and wait to find a truck. We had to find one right away that would tow our trailer. Brandon took Brielle on a Saturday and they drove far away to try to find a truck. They test drove several vehicles, and things like check engine lights would come on, or, you know, the dealer just was not going to give them any sort of wiggle room at all in the negotiations. It just was not working out. Brandon and Brielle came back late Saturday night with no truck with them. They just could not find anything that was going to work with the trailer, because we're not just buying any pickup. We really have to make sure that it can tow what we're living in. So the next morning, Sunday morning, Brandon wakes me up at about 6:30 and he's like, hey, I think I found one. Again, about 8 hours away, but he's like, I didn't see this one yesterday. I'm gonna drive back. He drives back and is gone all day. Again, test drives a few more trucks and thinks he's gonna walk away empty-handed. And then as he was returning to the dealership, he happened to find this one sitting right next to where he was parking that other one after a test drive. And he said, well, what about this truck? It's a Dodge Ram, it's a diesel. It was definitely gonna be big enough and heavy enough to tow our trailer. And so he test drove it, everything worked out, and he ended up coming home with this truck on Sunday. What made this adventure even more exciting than just the long drive through the middle of nowhere, through the desert, all of the awful things, Brandon ended up getting so stressed out that he was breaking out in hives. Saturday, Sunday, he does all this driving. Monday, he wakes me up again. This is now my third day in a row of not getting to sleep till I need to wake up. I was working that day, but he got me up before I was getting up for work to tell me, I think I need to go to an urgent care. I have a rash all over myself. Well, we discovered it was hives. He got some antihistamine and decided to sleep after that and not be quite as stressed, and that did clear up the hives. Part of the situation too is that Brandon had just returned from a business trip the day before we went to look for this truck. So he had been flying. He flew a red eye from Hawaii back to Seattle, and then from Seattle back to where we are. And so he spent all day flying basically, and then the next day had to go search for this truck. It was a big weekend for him. I kind of felt like I was losing my mind because I had a whole week of solo parenting without him in an RV park, and then we had all the truck on top of it. Like we said earlier, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. So you might be wondering, why did we end up going for this heavy duty truck that is a diesel, that is a dually? It's about as heavy duty as you can get, and it comes equipped with a fifth wheel hitch. It's because we got a brand new to us 2021 fifth wheel. So we'll tell you all about how this happened, why we got this rig, but needless to say, it's quite a bit bigger than our last one. Plus, we needed to be able to tow a fifth wheel, which the Titan was not set up to do. So we'll go inside and tell you all about it. You don't need to show your picture anymore. Quit sitting down like an old man. Oh. It's annoying.
It's the comfort of the thing, which we never had in the travel trailer. So, as you can see, we have a theater sectional. So let's cup holders. Yeah.
You need to turn on this light.
Massage. Oh yeah.
Light
switches. Instead of the center button pushes. But yeah, so let's rewind a little bit. So we were 6 months in the travel trailer?
Yeah, a little over 6. If you go back and watch our 3-month update, we talk about the things we like and don't like, which I think eventually came to a boiling point a little over 6 months. We, in the early part of our adventure, we moved quite a bit. And when you're moving quite a bit, the uncomfortable things of your living space are less noticeable, I think, because you're not spending a lot of time in the trailer. If you're vacationing in your trailer, again, you're not spending a lot of time in it. But I think for me, everything came to a boiling point when we got to a place where we were just gonna decompress, get off the road for a little bit and see things locally, but we did not have plans to move the trailer for over a month. And I think that's when I realized. Also, Brandon was on a business trip, so we moved to our location. He went on a business trip the very next day, and I was here with the kids all week by myself. And by the time he gets back, I'm basically at my wit's end. The whole thing is.
I hope this shows up, because this also is another feature that we have on the rig now: washer dryer, and it's on the spin cycle right now, so it's kind of shaking the whole camper. It's sort of like it's
like
working like the little massage here on the chairs that we have.
You just keep jumping ahead.
Got the little massager right here.
All the little features. So before we get into all that,
I got the massager on. I can't even feel the washer dryer now.
So anyway, I was at my wit's end, and about a day after you came home, I was done. All of the things that I've mentioned in the past about trying to work with activity going on around me, Brayden and I had been trying to schedule our work calls opposite each other, because we both have a fair amount of Zoom Teams calls that we have to do. I do feel like all of this, the kids in and out, is very indicative of what I was dealing with working. They would walk around in the rig, which would shake my computer. And I think I underestimated how introverted I really am, because we spend a lot of time together as a family. We homeschool, we both work from home. I was used to a lot of togetherness, but when I had no place to escape to, I really noticed that I was getting to my wit's end with everything. Oh, up there. We have located the doggy bags. Hold on. Bye, Bugs.
Bye.
Love you.
What?
Oh my gosh. So anyway, Reggie and I, we were running 5Ks every day. I was trying to read on my Kindle by the pool, in the bedroom. Like, I was doing all these things to try to feed into that side of myself that really needs space. But what we were finding is I would try to escape, Brandon would also try to escape, and the only place we really could inside the camper was our bedroom with our RV queen bed, so it was short. And we even hooked up a monitor in there so that we could both try to work in separate places, and it was enough. Like, I was ready to pull my hair out and be that crazy person yelling and screaming and carrying on in the RV park.
She already is that just a little bit.
A little bit, but I was
going
like,
to be the official
I need
crazy Sam.
Meanwhile, poor Brandon had no comfortable furniture and
Nothing was like, there was nothing that I could set on that had any sort of comfort, because the pad, the pad on the U-shaped dinette was about that thick. The sofa was 4 feet long.
It was like a love seat.
Maybe. I was like a short love seat. It was very small.
Low back, and really 2 people could sit on it, but it wasn't comfortable to sit like that very long. So you really had to lay down, but yeah, it was short, and if you're over 200 pounds, it's not designed for you. So you can see Brandon's gonna let out his recliner. This is something that he missed about our house. We have recliners everywhere in our house, and he missed the ability to do that and to stretch all the way out, because on our bed his feet were hanging off. It was a mess. So needless to say, after I had my conniption fit and went outside and was like, oh my gosh, I need to go home immediately, what am I going to do? I came back inside and I said, hey honey, I think we should start looking at a bigger RV to see if it's something we can do. To be honest, I wasn't sure if we'd be able to afford it. I wasn't sure if there would be anything available. Our travel trailer was an awesome vacation travel trailer, and so we bought that one new. I was hesitant to get rid of it because it was still in great shape and a great trailer, but it was coming down to my sanity, and I can't work.
And our survivability.
Our survivability. Well, and I was worried. So we have a teenage daughter, and so of course, those of you who have had teenage daughters, you know that relationship is a little different than your sweet little girl that you had at one point. But I became concerned that I was going to damage our relationship, mine and Brielle's, or even my relationship with Steele. I was getting to a point where I did not like being around them. I was better with Brandon. I think he and I can do better in a small space. But then I was even getting annoyed with him because there just wasn't anywhere for us to go. He's trying to get comfortable. He can't sit down anywhere, and the kids just had curtains on their bedrooms, so there was no privacy either. We would try to watch TV at night, and the kids would comment through their curtains, and so even the shows we like to watch, we had to be careful about, are the kids actually listening to this, and what are we doing, and all of that. So I mentioned this briefly to Brandon, thinking, in another month or 2 we might find something. We may not be able to afford it, we may not have anything nearby. What are we gonna do?
So typically what I do whenever I want to do something and I know that it's not going to be something that I can just go do, like I have to have the conversation with Sunny about doing it before I do it, is I'll plant the seed. So no different than this actual trip that we're on. I planted that seed like a year and a half ago, and I just started kind of talking about it a little bit. Hey, that's something that we could do. We've got the rig to do it, blah, blah, blah.
And it'd be fun.
Wouldn't it be fun? And then sure enough, I don't know, 6 months after I planted that seed, she said, I think we could do a year. Not full-time, but I think we could do a year on the road. That sounds like it'd be fun. Here we are. And so probably, I don't know, a month after we got started on this adventure, we started looking at, I started kind of looking at fifth wheels and things like that, and sort of the ones that fit all of our criteria. And this exact rig, not the year, because we had been looking at 2023s, but this exact rig, and it hasn't changed much. So we have a 2021 KZ Durango Gold 382 MBQ. I think I got it right.
And we'll give you a tour at another time. We just moved in.
Big tour, but yeah, it's got back patio. It's got like a fold out patio here, where in most of these fifth wheel designs like this with the mid bunk, they have a couch here blocking this back wall. This actually has a fold down patio.
With
it's
a
got
sliding glass door.
with sliding glass door. It's got a mid bunk with a loft, master bedroom in the back,
with a walk-in closet.
Walk-in closet, king size bed,
an island in the kitchen.
Dishwasher
And washing machine. Most RVs don't have. They might have the washer dryer, but a lot of them do not have dishwashers.
Yeah, and this is a washer dryer combo, so it actually takes up less space in the space back there because it does both in one. We're on literally our first load is washing right now, so we'll see if it's any good. But so yeah, I planted this seed months and months ago, and you know, I just kind of left it at that. Wasn't even thinking, you know, that this rig would be available. It was a mile from where we were staying at. And so
God knew I was about to go crazy. I even made a joke at the dealership. He was like, "Why are you in here looking at another rig?" And I was like, "Because I don't want to kill my children." And he goes, "Jail's even smaller, so let's find you another rig."
Yep.
And so, yeah, it was just so fortuitous, and everything, the exact model number, which this rig is not super common. We have not found it. We've been looking since Brandon found it because it was kind of his dream rig. We never thought we needed it when we were vacation traveling, but we've been looking to see, oh, I would love to walk through one. I never buy anything sight unseen, especially not something big like this. And so I was like, well, let's go look at one and see how it feels. Does it feel like it would meet our needs? All of those things. And then lo and behold, the day I'm about to pull out my hair, Brandon finds it a mile and a half away from the RV park we're staying at. Timeline, because if you're like me, I like to know the timeline of things. So Brandon finds this fifth wheel a mile and a half away on Saturday, I think, and Sunday we go to look at it. Well, they had moved it somewhere to clean it or stage it for an RV show. And so they said, oh, we'll have it back tomorrow, come back. Well, that was when Brandon was flying to Hawaii on his business trip. So he flew to Hawaii, was gone all week, and then we scheduled on Friday that I would pick him up from the airport and then we would go look at it. I thought we were just gonna look at it. I truly came in without any emotions invested. I really just wanted to see, is it a good size? Do we like it? Is there something similar we might like? You know, just kind of walk around. Well, within a few hours, the sales manager said, okay, well, what do we have to do to get you into this? And I was worried because we were living in our other trailer. He's like, oh, we do trade-ins all the time. They were both 2021, so he's like, that should be easy. They're new, all of this. Well, they end up getting it figured out, and we make a deal by like 4:30 Friday afternoon. They closed at 5, and so I said, okay, I'm gonna go grab the kids so they can come see it. And we brought them back, and they both were so excited.
We didn't actually tell them that.
We didn't tell them we bought it. We said, we found what we like. We want you guys to see what you think. And both of them got out of the truck, the Titan at the time, got out, and they were, oh, look at this. Look, oh, I want this to be my room. And they were so excited. And so then we announced to them, well, we actually bought it. We're going to come back and get it, though, because you had to find a truck, one, to tow it, but then I was planning to take the kids to Denver for a couple of days to do all of our like doctor's appointments, dental appointments, you know, all the things that we hadn't done because we have now been on the road for 6 months. So I had all these appointments scheduled and we were getting ready to leave town. Brandon then realizes he needs to find a truck that will tow it and figure out the fifth wheel situation because we were really looking for a truck that could tow it as our top priority, and then he was going to have to figure out how to get it equipped to actually tow a fifth wheel and drive us to the airport and pick us up from the airport all in the same week. Also, his mom was coming out to visit us for the Thanksgiving holiday.
Big surprise at the airport.
Big surprise at the airport. We have footage of that we'll show you. That I actually had the camera going then. I wish I would have had it when we showed the kids the RV at the dealership, but we were excited and I didn't pull up the camera. But I do have footage of when we surprised their grandmother at the airport in Denver and we all flew back together. But it was going to be a lot. And so that's when Brandon broke out in hives, when he drove all over California and Arizona trying to find a truck.
Crazy.
But he found one that already had a fifth wheel and we left. I don't know if you could see it when I was standing out there. Whoever had the truck before definitely dropped their fifth wheel on the tailgate a couple times.
Well, they either dropped it or they left it up when they were backing up and the kingpin hit it. But yeah, they definitely, something dropped a few times on the tailgate, so we'll be getting a new tailgate sometime soon.
But Brandon figured, that's okay, if we mess it up, we'll it'll be fine.
Heck yeah, I'm not worried about damaging this tailgate because I know I'm going to get a new one
Already been done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after we flew back from Denver, we had the truck. We surprised Brandon's mom the first night she got to stay in the old trailer and experience what that was like with 5 of us, 4 of us adult size. That's a lot.
Well, and I gotta say a huge thank you to my mom. Like she was not expecting to be put to work.
We weren't expecting to put her to work. That,
so there was more stuff in the travel trailer than I thought was even possible. Because it was like things were coming over and they didn't stop. But my mom
had Tetris that storage within an inch of its life.
It was insane how much stuff came out of it. But anyways, it was, I mean, we were up till 1:30 or so in the morning transferring everything over and getting it packed away somewhat because we kind of had to move things around the next day. We actually had to move the site. So we had to get everything. Yeah. We had to get everything put away to be able to move it. But yeah, my mom, huge shout out to her for, putting up with that, I guess is the phrase.
And helping us move stuff,
clean it, everything.
If we had done it just the 4 of us, we would have been up much later because she was 2 extra hands, that was able to help us with that, trying to get it done. So yeah, she arrived on Thursday. We all went out to eat, and then Friday, Brandon and I went and signed all the paperwork, picked up the rig, or maybe that was Saturday. I don't even know what day it was. And the dealership had an arrangement with a different RV park than the one we were staying at, where they would drop off this trailer empty, and then we could pull up in the site next to it with our old trailer and move everything. So that was super convenient that it was in an actual RV park. It wasn't like their parking lot, but we were able to do that process of moving everything over to this trailer and then clean out the old one thoroughly. And then the dealership came and picked up our trailer that we were trading in the next day too. We didn't have to do anything. We just put the keys and the registration and all of that in the RV, and they came and picked it up. And so they made it very, very easy. I don't know if all RV dealerships do that, because this is the first time we've ever dealt with that. But yeah, super easy, and we of course have footage of that too. But like Brandon said, I have no idea how we had so much in that trailer. This one is different in that all of our storage is above us instead of under the seating. And so maybe that's it. I just had things in the dinette and under the bed and under the couch and all of that. But we now have everything moved over here, but it's not all completely organized yet, which is why we're not giving you guys a tour yet.
Yep. And I think that's probably a good stop for the sort of the story, right? We got everything moved over. We're in our site. We're starting to get acclimated to the space, and I got some more storage bins and things like that for under the garage.
You have a much bigger garage.
Much bigger garage. I can literally crawl through it. I can climb into it, crawl through it, and have space in there. There's actually a TV in there, which is crazy. So we've got 4 TVs in this rig.
4 TVs, 2 fireplaces,
washer, dryer, dishwasher, much bigger refrigerator.
Multiple bedrooms.
Yeah,
the mid bunk is
we don't have an ice maker, so we're gonna have to figure that out. But
the newer model years do have them in the refrigerator.
They're 2 feet longer.
And they're 2 feet longer.
Well, yeah.
But if you look up the model number, you can see what they look like. Ours is a 2021. They're really well done. There's 4 slides, so it just gives us so much more space. There's doors to the kids' room, the mid bunk, there's a door to our room. Of course, the bathroom has a door. It's a full-size shower as opposed to the little corner shower we had.
Yeah, it's nice.
Porcelain toilet. Oh, on-demand water heater.
On-demand water heater.
So we don't have to do the little 6-gallon water heater military showers anymore.
So I will say, as a larger person, the toilet situation is 100 times better, because the little small plastic ones, they're small, and so your space doesn't fit in that space very well. If you have bigger areas like in the back, you don't have enough space. But that toilet in there is nice and big bowl.
And that's something that I've never thought of, still don't think of. But I do have to say, it's funny seeing the kids in here. They were so excited about a dishwasher, which in our house we always had a dishwasher. They never cared. They always complained about, oh, I have to load the dishwasher. But after living in the smaller space without those conveniences, we're all so grateful, I think, in a way that we would not have been had we moved right into this trailer. I have a full-size gas range oven now instead of the little half oven that we had, and I mean, it's as nice as the
giant burners
gas stove that I have in my house.
Yeah, like the cast iron offset is probably that tall, and big nice burners.
Yeah,
and it
nice
lights immediately. It flames up right away. So yeah. So I think we are so grateful, but I'm gonna get emotional. The other night I was working in our bedroom and the kids were out here laughing and playing a game together, and I was like, oh, this is what I wanted, right? We're all together. The kids were happy, they were playing and having fun, but we weren't so crowded that we were irritated with each other. I was in the other room so I could hear them, but I still had my own space to work, which is what I need. I really like quiet when I'm working. Brandon was doing something in the kitchen and we all had our space. And, Reggie was just curled up in front of the fireplace, just like we would be at home. So yes, it's still an RV and it's still smaller than a house, even a very small house, but it's comfortable now. And I think that this makes a huge difference in our ability to stay on the road and continue the fun we've had going to all the places, because we love that part of it. And I don't think that we've ever disliked that part of it, but now our living space is also comfortable enough that it's sustainable, which it wasn't at the pace we were going in the smaller rigs before. Yep.
So yeah, anything else?
No, I mean, we'll talk about, we'll obviously do a full walkthrough next week on next week's video. I think we'll have a full
next week. That's quick. In an upcoming video.
We'll have a
this
full
video
walkthrough.
is more real time. Oftentimes our travel videos are a month or so delayed, but the last few weeks have been
wild.
Insane.
The last month
Really
I have
traveled.
For the month of October, I was on the road for most of it, and then business trip last week, crazy, or I guess 2 weeks ago, crazy, and then this, my mom in town, Thanksgiving, like everything has just been piling up for the last 5 or 6
the kids and I in Denver.
It's been wild, so
yeah.
Hopefully we'll have a little bit of a slowdown coming into the holidays, and be able to put a lot of the
we have
fun
space
travels.
for a Christmas tree.
She's already got the Christmas tree ordered. I know she's gonna know. She knows where she's gonna put it. I don't know where she's gonna put it.
Well, we'll give them a Christmas tour when we
Give you a Christmas tour. All right, that's it for this week, I think.
Yep. Oh my gosh, you're such a dad. Like what? Dad humor.